Right, what a struggle. Oh my god, what a struggle. Getting the actual pattern bobbin out of the mould, yeah, that was difficult because of the overhang on the flanges. But I did it without breaking my pattern. Hang on a minute. Right, so that no one gets dizzy, I'm covering up the lens while I go and get it. Because Strubus doesn't like it. Right, okay, my bobbin. This is my pattern that I made the mould with, and it's got a large flange on the top and the bottom. Well, getting it out of the mould, that was really tough, and I had to really pull on that silicone pretty hard to do it without ripping it. That's the bad news. It was hard work getting it out. But what's the good news? Well, see for yourself. And trust me, these little multi-cores in the middle, they took some hammer. They took some hammer, and not one of them broke. So there we have it. I have a perfect mould. Anyway, and to get them lined up, all I have to do is tap the mould. And you can see they're all separate, right? Move them around, because they lock into them little bridges. Now if I tap the mould, I can get them to sit properly. Well, that one's stuck a bit actually. But basically you get them more or less in the right place, and then you just tap until they all sit on those little bridges just right. And actually that one's been awkward. Yeah, anyway, I'm tapping it. And the good news as well is that because the multi-core stem in the middle is quite rigid compared to the previous design, it is much more stable. I don't have it leaning to one side like before or the other way. It sits nicely right where it's supposed to do. Obviously I've got it on a CD, so it's nice flat surface underneath, but looking straight down, tapping it, you can see how they dance around. I'm tapping it right now. And the only one that's a bit stubborn is that one, I think. It tends to want to sit slightly off at an angle. I'm not sure why. But anyway, it's come out really well. I'm happy about that. Oh, that one's a bit off. Let's tap it. Oh, it's right where it's supposed to do, I think. Yeah, that's actually right, actually. Looking at it. Let's get my magnifying glass on it. Right, whoops. I knocked the whole thing then. So I've knocked them all out of alignment again. See if I can get the light on this. Tap, tap, tap. Putting the magnifying glass doesn't help. It actually just tap them to get them straight. And they actually do lock into where they're supposed to do, except for the stubborn one. It probably came under quite a bit of stress though when I was taking it out. But yeah, they do key into where I cut the little the bridges actually. But when the resin's in there, they won't wobble about so much, and I can actually move them manually and just key them into their little places. And yes, so I'm happy about the result. Even though I didn't get it as shiny as I would have liked, you can still see the 3D print pattern in them. But silicone, well, I'm not too worried about that. The important thing is I've got a good mould, and I can start to do some bobbins now. And my little square parts, you know, from the holes. Remember I put some tape on one side? Perfect. There'll be a slight bit of overspill of the resin when I pour it in, and it'll basically be popping. I'll just be poking those, any thin film of resin that goes over the top of those. I'll just poke it through with a screwdriver or something, or but that's where the other little square cores will be, like in the original pattern. You can see. Oh, that's stuck to the bottom, one of my blades. So the bottom actually is the same. It's got those little nodules, and they did not get connected to both halves of the silicate at the base because of the double-sided tape. So that worked out really well. So now it's just a question of putting some resin in there. But I'm going to let it sit, because the silicone only cured a few hours ago. I'm just going to let it sit and air out a bit, because I've had some isopropyl alcohol in there to help it to get the pattern out. So I'm just going to let it air out for a few hours in a warm place, and then I'm going to put my resin in there and make a cast, and hopefully it will come out without I'll be able to get it out without breaking it. If, however, I can't get the damn thing out without breaking it, I'll learn a lesson from it, and then I'll decide to cut this mould into complete 2 halves, which will make it a lot easier to get it out. There's that option of having it completely split down the middle, then separating it and then pulling the cores out on one half, then pulling the cores out the other half. There's that possibility, but I'd prefer to have it like this, where it's just split on one side, because it helps to line everything up properly. But anyway, as you can see, it's come out good. I haven't lost any cores. They're all there, and just by moving it around, I can get those cores to sit exactly where they need to be. And so we're not going to have any more cockeyed cores, hopefully. Right, thanks for watching.